Good morning and welcome to the Walk-Off, everybody. I'm Scott Belford, joined as always by the best co-host in the biz, Adam Mack. And buddy, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing my Vacation Blue Jays shirt in
Very
hope
nice.
of bringing some good juju into the baseball atmosphere, and then hopefully it rains down news on us, right? I just want to know what that next shoe to drop is going to be after yesterday.
Could be anything. Could be anything. And who knows when it comes is the thing.
Who knows when it comes?
It could be out by the time we get this video done. It could be a week away still. It could be.
Oh my God.
I hope it's not longer than that.
Can you imagine if it's a month? Blue Jays fans are going to be like, this is the worst offseason ever. Yeah, huge news yesterday in Blue Jays land, but more news came out yesterday afternoon and we didn't really get to it. The Cy Young winners were announced. So we figured we'd do a video here on that. We really appreciate all of you who are watching. Obviously, I just wanted to touch on really quickly. We have a clips channel now, which is about a month old. This is just something we decided to do because we were such a long form podcast. And we know that, some people don't have 55 minutes every single day to consume Blue Jays content. So we did clip things up. So if you are on this channel and you have yet to subscribe, we would truly appreciate you subscribing to the clip channel.
Numbers continue to grow. It's been pretty impressive. So very cool.
And that's all because of the walk-off community. So we thank you very much. Okay, let's start with the American League, buddy, because the three finalists were Justin Verlander, Dylan Cease with the White Sox, and of course our boy Alek Manoah. And it was a unanimous landslide win for Justin Verlander. I think we all saw this coming. A deserving win, too, by the way. A 1.75 ERA, 175 innings. He's coming off of a Tommy John surgery. This is his third Cy Young win. He just won the World Series. I mean, kind of a romantic, magical season for 40-year-old Justin Verlander.
Yeah. No, very cool. I mean, got his World Series win finally. He's got a World Series win. I mean, like a game win in a World Series. A game win that had eluded him for his entire career, which is kind of crazy. He's pretty
much checked all his boxes, right?
Yeah, he's probably going to the Hall of Fame, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, an obvious first ballot Hall of Famer there. It is going to be interesting to see what his deal is going to be this offseason. He's one of the premier starting pitchers on the free agent market. And the rumors are he's after a contract somewhere in the realm of what Max Scherzer got last year. So 2 years, $80 million. Be interesting to see who bites because he still obviously has value.
Jays just missed out on him last year. Do you think they make another push for Verlander, or is that ship sailed? We got Gausman instead.
See, isn't that the question? And that's a really good caveat to kind of toss around here as to, are the Blue Jays going to dip into free agency for their outfield position need? Are they going to dip into free agency for their starting pitching need? Is this all going to be addressed by trade or some sort of mix of the two? I don't know how heavily the Blue Jays are going to be in on top-end starting pitching. But, I mean, all the rumors are guys like Brandon Nimmo, who are obvious candidates to fit into this team as a center fielder, lefty bat, an outfield need. I mean, the rumors are 5 years, $100 million plus, right? Even Michael Conforto, even if he takes a 1-year deal, probably $25 million. So where are they going to spend the money? I don't know. They obviously freed a bunch up, though, with that Teoscar move. DFAing Tapia, DFAing Bradley Zimmer. They've got 20 plus million on the books now that they didn't before. The Ryu 20 million. That's insured. Insurance, so so there's definitely money there. They're planning something. Okay, so
anything else stand out to you here on this Cy Young award? I got the tweet pulled up here from Fox Sports MLB on this list. Dylan Cease, second place.
You know what? Dylan Cease, I probably did not give him enough credit because of his walk rate. but he had such a dang good season. And even if your walk rate's high, if none of those guys ever come in to score, how do you fault him? He had a 2.2 ERA, 184 innings pitched. He had a 6.4 wins above replacement, 14 second place votes, 10 third place votes. He was unanimously the second place dude, right?
What about Shohei Ohtani? Because this one stands out to me. 9 second place votes. He got more than Alek Manoah.
Yes, he did. Yes,
that
he did.
Doesn't quite seem right to me. I feel like he's getting... Look, he's a very good pitcher. He's a great pitcher, okay? I don't want to take anything away from him. I feel like 9 votes, more votes than Alek Manoah, feels like he's getting votes on behalf of his bat, and I don't think that's appropriate. Am I out to lunch here?
I don't know if it is so much that as it is the time zones. And I think that a lot of those, and it's not like I saw a map of which baseball writers voted from where, but my guess is West Coast voters who had a chance to see Shohei the most, and maybe like all of these East Coast games were over by the time they were done work, right? It is a 4-hour difference in some of these cases. I just think the West Coast voters leaned Shohei heavy because they saw him so much more, a little bit of recency bias.
I'm not buying that, Scott,
No?
because nobody watched the White Sox at all, and Dylan Cease still got a bunch of votes. So I'm not buying it. I don't know.
Our boy White Sox Rick is not liking that, but no.
All right. Well, we don't have to agree. Let us know in the comments, though, what you think of... obviously, Verlander had the big year, but did Shohei Ohtani really deserve 9 second-place votes? I don't think so.
He did finish 4th. Now, finishing 3rd, and probably deservedly so, despite the fact that I'm biased and I would have given him the Cy Young, but Alek Manoah coming in 3rd with what were his votes at there? I know you've got
there's 7 second place votes and 13 third place votes, whereas Ohtani had 9 and 7. So 2 more second place votes for Ohtani, 6 more third place votes for Alek Manoah. So the total points was more for Manoah.
One thing stood out to me about Alek Manoah's season: workhorse. 196.2 innings pitched. Let's face it, if he was on a non-playoff team, he would have pitched over 200 innings. They just had to massage his start so that he was game 1 of the wild card, right? Second lowest single season ERA in Blue Jays team history. Okay, like look back on who has pitched in a Blue Jays uniform. Like we've got Hall of Famers like Roger Clemens and Roy Halladay.
Yeah.
There's been studs like Dave Stieb.
Pat Henkin.
Jack Morse pitched in a Blue Jays uniform. David Cone pitched in a Blue Jays uniform. Like, man, this is really impressive. A 2.24 ERA, 196 innings pitched, a 5.9 wins above replacement, all-star season, youngest Cy Young Award finalist in Blue Jays history, 24 years old, free agent in 2028. No moment has been too big for this kid. And I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that this is just the start. This is the start of a long run of Cy Young finalists, nominations.
I would tend to say the start was last year when he started, but that's just me from a technicality standpoint. Look, for me, workhorse, absolutely, and I'm not going to argue anything you just said. I just want to highlight the fact of the massive innings increase he had this year over last year, pitching way more than what, the typical safe workload increase, conventionally is, what conventional baseball wisdom would have you believe, with honestly almost no dip in his productivity on the back half of the season. He did have a few rough starts in August.
Yeah.
But it's not
as
like
everyone does. Verlander had some rough starts.
Yeah. So he bounced back, and September was awesome. like he was great. He was great. He pitched so much more than his workload has ever been before, and the fact that he didn't tail off at the end, he wasn't a midway through the fifth kind of a pitcher. Like he was still pitching 6, 7, 8 innings on occasions at right till the end of the year. Like, man,
And Adam,
I got
another thing that stands out to me about this kid is his mental toughness and his focus, his ability to show up big in big games. And I mean, even if you think about his MLB debut, right? He was kind of thrust into an almost do or die situation. And Blue Jays fans may remember looking back when he got the call up in June of 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Injuries were plaguing this starting rotation, and not just plaguing it. There weren't a lot of other options outside of Manoah to be called up.
Yeah.
And the amount of pressure to put on a 23-year-old kid, forget how good he looked in the minors. The bigs is different.
Totally.
And he did not skip a beat. He came in, and even when he did struggle, it was never a pouty, flip out type of reaction. It was always a very focused, Kate, I'm getting pulled. Let me go grab the first catcher I can find and first coach. Let's get on the iPad and let's see what I was doing wrong. Just a sponge.
Man, it's funny how any discussion we have that involves Alek Manoah quickly becomes Alek Manoah episodes. So
yes, we'll move on. I know. I can't help it. And
so
if you're not a Blue Jays fan watching this, we're sorry.
We're sorry. Yeah, I'll just have to title this video "Alek Manoah was hosed in Cy Young votes" or something like that. All right, let's pivot to the NL, shall we? Because this one unanimous as well. Sandy Alcantara.
May very well be just the best starting pitcher in all of baseball right now. The kid is a stud. He's unbelievable. What Kim Ng managed to do with that contract too, 5 years, $56 million, basically buying out all his ARB years, has just saved the Marlins literally $50 million,
mm-hmm.
$70 million, somewhere in that range. Like, it blows me away, the foresight to be able to lock this kid up. And it's funny, even when they did it, everyone knew that it was a great contract, but also when you're buying ARB years, and we've watched this Blue Jays front office go the other direction with it, where they're like, you know what, let's ride it out. We can deal with this come free agency, which is kind of what it looks like they're doing with this core. But as for the Marlins, Ang got in there, took a chance on Alcantara, and now it is paying off big time for him. The kid just got 30 first place votes. First Cy Young, first of many is my guess. 200. Speaking of workhorse, 228 innings pitched.
That's
the most in baseball by a lot.
That's a lot. Especially on a bad team.
Especially on a bad team. Isn't it satisfying too to look at that 228 innings pitched and his 2.28 ERA, and then look at Justin Verlander's 1.75 ERA and his 175 innings pitched? Just like as a math thing, seeing all the same numbers, right? All the OCD folks here loving that.
Yes, very satisfying.
So a big win for Sandy Alcantara and the Marlins. Obviously, this kid has an incredibly bright future ahead of him. And he is a throwback, man. Guys don't pitch that kind of innings. There's like that workload was incredible, and he didn't falter at any point in the season. Just really impressive. Max Fried finishing second in votes in the NL. He had a 2.48 ERA, 185 innings pitched. Like, just think about the drop in innings compared to Fried and Alcantara. And Fried had an incredible season.
Of course.
Right? He was right there with Manoah, 5.9 ER, 5.9 wins above replacement. He had 7 third place votes and 10 second. Go ahead. Sorry.
With Sandy Alcantara, how many years left does he have on this contract? 5? 4? 4 years? At what point, if you're the Miami Marlins, this is a team who finished in the bottom third of the league.
If I'm the Miami Marlins, and I cut you off right here, and I don't allow you to talk about rebuilding.
Look, Cy Young pitcher, super young, Amazing contract.
Amazing
That
contract.
is, I mean, look, we just watched Juan Soto get traded for a haul. The speculation all second half of the year there was Shohei Ohtani. What's he going to be worth on the trade market? I would rather Sandy Alcantara. Like, if I could trade for one guy this offseason,
Yeah.
I would rather overspend for Sandy Alcantara than I would for Shohei Ohtani. Am I crazy with that?
No, you're not. I would agree. Alcantara very well maybe, and I stated it, may very well be the number one pitcher in baseball right now. And it's hard to argue with that. Even contrarians, I know in the comments we may get a couple, but even contrarians, it's pretty tough to argue with 228 innings pitched and a 2.28 ERA. Like, are you kidding me?
Contrarians almost sounds like what Alcantara fans would call themselves. I'm an Alcantarian. I'm a Manoah head. Anyways, sorry, that was dumb. Great way to end the show, though. A stupid, terrible joke that my brain couldn't help but let out there. So
okay, well, we'll give a little love to Julio Urias too of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who pitched to a 2.16 ERA, 175 innings pitched, a 4.9 wins above replacement this season, and a third place finish for Cy Young voting. And there you have it. Cy Young winners announced. A big congrats to, it's funny how the two are so opposites too, right? Old man Verlander and young up and coming kid Sandy Alcantara. Not up and coming anymore. He's arrived. So a big congrats to those two. And yeah, Alek Manoah got hosed. No, kidding. Cheers, gang. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, we obviously appreciate it. Appreciate all the likes, and we just appreciate you, the walk-off community. Cheers, everybody.